I was in a car accident a little over 3 years ago. It was on my 17th birthday, and I was sort of lucky because it was the only car involved and there was no one else in my car, so there weren't any other people. So it was a rainy day, a bad day. I was driving a little bit too quickly and I was a little bit emotional, and my tires went off onto the shoulder of the road where it makes that sound, and I overcorrected. So I hit a telephone pole, but I was really lucky because I was rescued by a team of volunteer firefighters in my area, and they took me to the hospital in Perth, which is where I live. And from there I received some blood transfusions, and then they airlifted me to KGH. So I had sustained multiple injuries in different vertebrae in all 3 sections of my spine. And I also sheared my sacrum on the right side of my pelvis, so that's at the back of my pelvis. Then I had a left acetabular fracture, which is a broken hip. I had a partially collapsed lung and a collapsed lung, and sort of most of all was my diffuse axonal brain injury with excess swelling in the left frontal lobe. And so I've been thinking about what I was going to say, and I've been trying to think of a sentence to follow like my injuries that was going to describe how that felt, but it's been really hard to think of something that can easily describe that, because that's sort of an indescribable experience and feeling for me to have. I mean, sounds probably a little bit dumb, but it really, really hurt. Both physically and emotionally. It was, it's been a long road for both me and my family. There are the big things that I had to go through. I mean, I was in a wheelchair, walker, all of these things. It was pretty hard to be on bed rest. The narcotics, surgery, all that stuff, it's so big, and you can imagine pretty easily how that would be a challenging thing for someone to overcome. But there were also a lot of little things that were challenging for me. Like one of them would have been like brushing my hair while I had my neck brace on. So much harder than you would ever imagine. And same thing with like answering the phone. If it's on the back of the counter, it's like hard to reach that sometimes. And it felt like there were all of these little things that required 100% of my effort. And it felt really, really challenging and draining at some times to put all of this effort into my recovery. And I've come so close to having a full recovery. I mean, I am pretty close. I can go for runs, I can ride my bike. I go to Queen's University now, so the brain injury's doing pretty well too. It definitely, my recovery has taken a lot of effort on my behalf, but it's also so much of my success I attribute to the amazing, amazing care that I received in the hospitals in Kingston. And I know, deep down in my heart, I know that would not have been possible if it weren't for donations from people like you. And so I can't say thank you enough for how grateful I am. I really appreciate all of your donations and everything that you do, because it makes such a big impact. So thank you.
We have a token of appreciation that I'll present to Maggie. Thank you so much, not only for sharing your story tonight, but for sharing your story in the media and in our television campaign and all our brochures and so on. We just thank you so much, Maggie.